Hello to everybody. I'm very pleased that a lot of people registered to this webinar and joined to our presentation. I'm Arūnas Kuginys from Teltonika Telematics, and today I'm gonna present our long-awaited solution, Teltonika DualCam. And with us is our partner, Gurtam.
Hi to all, thank you for visiting the webinar. My name is Sergey Gavernov. I'm Wialon Implementation Manager at Gurtam, and today I'm going to happy to present all the Wialon features that will be useful with the DualCam. Thank you.
Today I will talk about threats on the roads and which of them is hard to avoid. I will present Teltonika DualCam solution. What are the benefits and features of this solution? Sergey from Gurtam will present a configuration part on Wialon. So let's start with the road threats. What kind of threats happen on the roads? For me personally, one of the biggest threats are accidents. I mean road collisions. Any collision on the road, big or small, gives a lot of stress. And some of them go with consequences like driver injury, damage to vehicle, or cargo. I have a question. Have you ever been involved in collision? If yes, you should know what it feels like. I took a part in 3 accidents and barely avoided a big one. I was driving towards the intersection. It was a green line for me, and suddenly a vehicle jumped into the intersection through the red light. I had to react fast, so pushed the brakes and slipped into the vehicle, but happily avoided the accident. Imagine what could happen, a really big accident, and potentially injured people. And how this situation to find out a guilty one when there are no witnesses and evidences. Of course, an investigation is needed. Now I want to share a statistical information on collisions in Europe a year. In this graph, you will see a volumes of collisions by countries and the number of collisions per 10,000 residents. Like example, in Lithuania, we have over 3,000 collision and 11 collisions per 10,000 residents. Further in Poland, we have more than 30,000, in France 57,000, in England 160, in Italy 172,000. And how many collisions do you think are in Germany every year? You know, I was surprised that in Germany is over 300,000, and you can see there are 37 collisions per 10,000 residents. So let's move on. One of the most popular threats on the roads is fraud accidents when there is a desire to get a profit from insurance companies. I want to mention one way. It is quite common for drivers to simulate accidents or even injuries, so in the result, to get a profit. And I want to show you one video. You see a woman running and obviously trying to lay under the truck. She knows what she's doing. Threats on the road occur not only outside the vehicle, but also inside. For example, a taxi has to carry a lot of different customers who sometimes behave inappropriately. When even in this photo, we see how a passenger tries to steal money from a tip box. Also, let's not forget the other side when there is no driver tracking solution. Taxi drivers sometimes misbehave, screams, or even harass passengers. There are cases where the passengers are illegally transported as well. We have undisciplined drivers on the roads who violate the rules. They do overspeeding, accelerating, dangerously maneuver. And I want to show you one video on undisciplined driver. In this video, we see how the driver accelerates, brakes, and does not let to overtake in this dangerous maneuver on the road, which can lead to an accident. I talked about the threats on the roads, and now I will present a solution that will help to avoid road hazards in some cases or make it easy to identify the cause of the damage. I want to introduce the Teltonika DualCam solution. It consists of the camera, which is mounted on the front of the vehicle with 3M dual tape, or can be screwed to the bottom or top with the screws. The connected camera records from the front road itself and from the rear inside the cabin, when the driver and passenger are visible at all times. The second component of this solution is Teltonika Telematics Tracker FMC125. The camera and FMC125 are connected via a RS-232 interface. Integration is done with all FMX125 devices, so it is with FMC, FMU, FMM, and FMB devices. But for the faster data transferring, we recommend Fuji device FMC125. So let's take a look at more benefits. Video and photo sending are done as the event is generated. When the tracker detects a crash or panic button press, a signal is sent to the camera and a photo or video file is generated. By default, in the event of an accident, we receive from the front camera 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after the event. We also receive a video file from the rear camera 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after the event. In total, 20 seconds. Another important functionality is receiving video files or photo to the server after sending a request. For example, the event is generated when the driver has braking. The tracker sends the information to the server. Automatically, the server can send the request with the GPS command and receive a photo or video file. In this case, we can get all the visuals of the needed events, both videos and photos. Also want to mention that requests can be sent via the SMS commands as well. Next, we have the functionality of sending photos periodically. This functionality can be activated via the Teltonika configurator, and the standard configuration for receiving pictures is every 10 minutes, and the weight of one photo is 50 kilobytes. It will be received in 18 seconds. The camera has 2 micro SD slots. One slot goes to the front camera and one to the rear. And the maximum capacity is 64 gigabytes. It can hold up to 72 hours of continuous recording. And here are more benefits. Video format H.265 gives more efficient file compression and less data for transferring. In order to receive video files for our clients, we prepared a universal communication protocol for fast installation to the server. The maximum video length for download is 60 seconds, which is 30 seconds from the front camera and 30 seconds from the rear camera. Now I want to show the DualCam configurator. I'm gonna switch to Teltonika configurator. And here you can see the Teltonika configurator and how you can connect cameras. So first of all, you need to go to RS-232 functionality. You need to enable RS-232 functional button. Then you need to choose DualCam. And additionally, you need to choose camera picture resolution. And of course, don't forget to save it, everything. And now I will give a word to my colleague.
Thank you, Runas. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Now in my turn, I'm going to present you Wialon features and how to configure this tracking device. But before I start, please don't forget to post your questions to the questions and answer tab here on Zoom. So first of all, is the Telematics device. So you can connect FM series of Teltonika. So it means that you can get a lot of data from the vehicle or from the environment by connecting different sensors. First of all, for example, you need to point the tracking device to the Wialon, to the platform. In this case, you go to the unit, you create a new unit, and then you'll be given to fulfill the unit properties. Here you need to specify the name, probably the plate number, define the unit type, the vehicle or pickup truck here in the profile here, cargo transport of the truck, etc. Let's say also you need to specify the device type. In our case, this is Teltonika FMC125. And once you do that, you'll be given the address and the port. So this information you need to place to the Teltonika configurator or need to send the SMS to point the tracking device to the platform. Then you'll be given, or on the Teltonika tracking device, you'll find the unique ID, which is IMEI number, and you need to place it here, and then click OK, then the tracking device will be online. So the next step, we need to get all the data from the tracking device. In this case, when you click to the icon on the unit, you will get a lot of additional information here. Of course, we can see the sensor values and different parameters. To activate these parameters, by the way, all you need to do is to click to User Settings, scroll down and find the additional parameters here. So they will be displayed on the work list. So based on these additional parameters, you can build a lot of sensors. So these are the door sensors, the different RFID tags you can connect to temperature sensors and seatbelt sensors, fuel level sensor. A lot of data you can get here because this is the Telematics device. So here you can see the parameters, different IOs. So to get the description, all you need to do is to go to the parameters here. We need to find the parameters for the specific device on the Teltonika wiki. So here you can see that the parameter ID, for example, 239, and it stands for the engine ignition status. So keeping that in mind, it's possible for us to build different sensors. So how to build sensors? All you need to do is to go to the unit properties of the tracking device and configure all the sensors based on the parameters. First of all, you can configure the accident detection sensor, like this crash detection, or acceleration, braking, cornering sensors, engine ignition, SOS button. Again, it depends on the different real sensors connected to the tracking device. And we need to build these sensors because later on we can use them in our notifications to trigger the videos and footage, the images by the request. So also there's another option here, of course, the eco driving. The most simple way you can do is to build the acceleration, braking, and cornering events using our criteria, our sensors. And again, if vehicle exceeds this value, then the vehicle will get the penalty points. Besides, if the driver is assigned to that vehicle, the driver will also get these penalty points. And then these penalty points will be converted into the rank. So you can compare the best and the worst drivers of vehicles. Another thing we need to configure here is the comments. So we need to create the comment to get the picture. So the syntax of this specific comment to be updated. So just need to know that there must be a comment created. That's it for the unit configuration. Besides, if you have thousands of tracking devices, so for example FMC model, it's possible for you to configure the tracking device only once, and then it's possible for you to export the unit properties to other tracking devices. So it will speed up the configuration of the devices. Or besides, if you need to create all of units in bulk, also we can assist you with that, and let's say we can create thousands or 100 units in several clicks, I would say. So once the tracking device is configured, is pointed, we have all the sensors, there are two options how we're going to request the footage from the tracking device. And the first option is to use the schedule. In this case, we need to use our jobs feature. So in this case, here we need to create the new task, which is execute command over the unit. We need to select our unit, DualCam, plus we need to use the command specifying this custom syntax. Then you need to select how often you'd like to trigger this image execution. So probably every 10 minutes or every hour on a specific schedule, say every morning. Yeah, and this is the first option, and the second option is to use the notifications, which is the trigger action system. So it means that when something happens to the tracking device, in terms of the its position or its sensor values, then the system can execute specific action. So let's have a look at this notification above speed limit. So it is bound to the vehicle. Here we're going to use the trigger type speed, and let's say if the vehicle exceeds the road speed limit above 10 kilometers per hour, the system will trigger the action, which is the pure notification here in the pop-up window. Plus we got to register event for unit in order to view all the triggered events in the reports. And then there is the option to save the video, the file, 20 seconds for 2 cameras. Means that 5 seconds prior to event and 5 seconds after the event per camera. So in total we're going to get 20 seconds. Besides it, of course, it's possible to execute the command to get the picture. So if something happens, the picture also will be requested. And the great thing with this save video, the file, that you don't need to configure anything on the platform. So the system will substitute the time of the event received by the platform and will ask from the tracking device exactly the same time. So we can get this picture of exactly of this specific event. Or in this case, this is going to be the above speed limit notification. Speaking about the sensor values, so you can select the sensor value here, specify its name, and define the value from and value to. So meaning that if the driver is moving with the seat belt off, then the system can trigger the save video the file to get the evidence that the driver is not following the policies of the company. Or besides that, let's say in case of the harsh braking or harsh acceleration, we can also get the evidence to understand what really caused this specific event. Was it because of the reckless driving or because of the specific contra accident maneuvers? Yeah, when it is done, all you need to do is specify of course, the message that will be generated for the notification and how often the notification will be available. For example, you can make some notification working only during some specific time intervals. Let's say from during the working days or during some specific working time interval. Yeah, and when you configure the jobs and the notifications, the footage will be stored on the GualCam server. So again, you don't need, as the integrator, you don't need to set up any additional servers. Everything will be stored in one place. And to get more information about the activities, the events, the trips, and the footage, you can execute the reports. For example, a report template, you can configure it according to your needs. So the basic one is that you can get the information about the trips, how the vehicle was moving, with its maximum and minimum speed, probably number of the violations, and if there is a video or not. Besides, it is possible to get information about eco driving, because there is also additional column video. So for the particular event, you can always get the evidence directly in the report. What is more, we have, of course, the events, all the triggerings from the notifications. So this is the notification text we're going to generate in the notification tab here when we define the message. Besides, here we can see the files. Again, these are all the messages registered from the tracking device, and beside this we can also get the video column here. And of course the images. All you need to do is just to add the table type images to the report template. And in this case, all the footage will be available here. Besides, you can already, the system is requesting the video files in the background, and we also have reports to get all the information. But sometimes you just simply need to get the videos to record the files received. In this case, we have the module video, and in this specific module, all you need to do is to select the tracking device here, and then for a tracking device, you will get a lot of messages received by the platform, by the system. So here you can see different tags. So currently you can see as the driver, parameters in the message, or it can be sensor values. So these tags are the trigger types from the notifications. And when you click on this specific image, you'll be able to place this footage. I won't do it now because it's probably some privacy issues. And if you need to store it on your PC, all you need to do is to click the right button of your mouse here and save video as the file. And that's it, it will be here. So video will be downloaded and you can send it via the email as the evidence to someone else. Besides, I'd like to point that the tracking device has the SD card, so it means that all the footage, the physical footage, is on the camera. So in case you need some extent information about the event, you can just simply remove the SD cards and get the footage on your PC. There's also beautiful software on the Teltonika website where you can download it and view the videos in the chronological format order. So I think that this DualCam is a great solution because, first of all, this is not an MDR device. So it can be some cases that some partners are forced to install additional MDR device. And in this case, you just simply can use the Telematics device, plus you connect the DualCam, and in this case, you just increase the value of your solution. So the DualCam is something that brings the evidences of different events. And these events will be generated in the background by the notification system. Actually, that's all that I wanted to say about the configuration of Wialon. And now I'd like to pass the microphone to Arunas. He will tell about the trends in video telematics.
Thank you, Sergey. I will show some statistical information. The integration of cameras to enable various video-based solutions in commercial vehicle environments is one of the most apparent trends in the fleet telematics sector today. Bergensight estimates that the installed base of active video telematics system in North America reached 2.1 million units in 2020. The active installed base of forecast to reach more than 4.4 million units in North America by 2025. And in Europe, the installed base of active video telematics system reached almost 0.8 million units in 2020. And in 2025, it's going to reach up to 1.8 million. And let's take a look what kind of use cases the solution can be used. The Teltonika DualCam solution can be used widely. Regarding the use cases, it can be assigned to security insurance, basic tracking, advanced, and in some cases even professional. This solution is perfect for light commercial vehicles, example taxi, where the driver and passenger safety can be ensured, delivery courier. The driving can be evaluated by observing their behavior on the road, and car rental to protect vehicles from damage. And I think it's a right time to finish our webinar. And if you would like to try Teltonika DualCam solutions, so first of all, you can directly write to us to info@teltonika.lt, or just to contact your regional sales manager.
Absolutely, and the same thing from Wialon. If you have any Wialon-related questions, we're going to examine all of these and we'll send you the answer.
And thank you very much for participating in our webinar. I hope it was really interesting for you and useful. And see you next time on our next webinar. Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.